The Oppenheimer family's history begins with Sir Ernest Oppenheimer. Born in 1880 in Friedberg, Germany, Ernest was the son of Edward Oppenheimer, a cigar merchant, and his wife Nanette. His journey to becoming one of the most influential figures in the diamond and gold mining industries started when he moved to London as a young man. He began his career at 17 when he entered the diamond trading company, Dunkelsbühler and Company. He quickly impressed his employer, and in 1902, at the age of 22, he was sent to South Africa to represent the company. Interestingly, Ernest would later become the mayor of Kimberley from 1912 to 1915, where he helped mobilize manpower for the Kimberley Regiment Service during World War I. In Kimberley, the heart of the diamond industry, Ernest quickly established himself as a formidable figure. His business acumen led him to found the Anglo American Corporation in 1917, with huge financial backing from American financier J.P. Morgan. This company was established to exploit the gold fields of the East Rand and would become one of the largest mining companies in the world. The real turning point for the Oppenheimer legacy came with their involvement in De Beers, a prominent diamond company founded by Cecil Rhodes in 1888. The company was named after the De Beers family, who had originally lived on the plot of land where the company began. Cecil Rhodes, an English mining magnate and politician in southern Africa, served as Prime Minister of the Cape Colony from 1890 to 1896, where he began his legacy as an oppressive imperialist. He had a dim view of black people and argued that they needed to be treated like children. He introduced the land policies on which apartheid would later build on. Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe and Zambia, was unofficially named after him in 1895 by the settlers there, to whom he was hugely popular. A sickly child, Rhodes was sent to South Africa by his family at 17 years in the hope that the climate there might improve his health. At 18, he joined the diamond trade at Kimberley. Later, and with funding from Rothschild and Company, he began to systematically buy out and consolidate diamond mines. Over the next 2 decades, he gained a near-total monopoly of the world diamond market, controlling approximately 90% of rough diamond. This was through agreements with the Diamond Syndicate based in London, where they colluded to maintain high diamond prices by controlling the world supply. Ernest Oppenheimer, seeing the potential in controlling this giant, began to buy shares in De Beers in the early 1920s. By 1927, he had secured a seat on the board of directors, and by 1929, he became the chairman of De Beers, gaining control over the company's vast diamond interests. Under his leadership, De Beers expanded its reach, establishing a global diamond cartel that managed supply and maintained the value of diamonds worldwide. His strategy, marketing campaigns that positioned diamonds as the ultimate symbol of love and commitment, encapsulated in the now famous slogan, "A diamond is forever." In many ways, they created the diamond as we know it today, as an idea and a symbol. Ernest was knighted in 1921. He later vied in the 1924 general elections and was elected a member of the Union of South Africa Parliament, representing Kimberley for 14 years. Ernest's son, Harry Oppenheimer, born in 1908, took over the reins of both Anglo American and De Beers after his father's death in 1957. Harry, an Oxford University alumni, had studied politics, philosophy, and economics, thus well equipped with the knowledge and insight to steer the family businesses through the complexities of the mid-20th century. He expanded and started a diversification of the business interests, particularly focusing on Anglo American. Under his reign, the company invested in sectors such as platinum, gold, and coal mining, maintaining it as a powerhouse in the global mining industry. His tenure also saw the expansion of De Beers operations into new diamond fields in Botswana, Namibia, and beyond, further solidifying the company's dominance. Harry served as the chairman of Anglo American for 25 years and chairman of De Beers Consolidated Mines for 27 years, until he retired from those positions in 1982 and 1984 respectively. Harry's son, Nicholas, or Nikki, heir to the De Beers diamond fortune, was born in 1945. Nikki joined Anglo American in 1968 and became deputy chairman of the company in 1983 before resigning in 2011. In 1998, he became the chairman of De Beers. In a significant move, after 80 years, the Oppenheimers decided to sell their remaining stake of 40% in De Beers to Anglo American in 2012 for $5.1 billion, increasing its stake to 85%. This marked the end of an era of family control over the diamond giant, as Nikki also resigned as the chairman. The De Beers model had relied on control. Under the Oppenheimers, they controlled the syndicate that strictly manipulated the sale of global diamonds. Meanwhile, new capable players were coming up, and their ability to control producers was slipping. At the same time, civil strife in diamond-producing African countries, such as the blood diamonds of Sierra Leone, brought calls for a boycott of diamonds which was hurting them. With so much of its fortune tied up in one commodity, the family was at constant risk of a crash. It was time to get out. The family unanimously decided it was the right thing to do. The Oppenheimers remain a powerful and influential family in South Africa. Through their private equity firm, E. Oppenheimer and Son, they have interests in various sectors, including technology, agriculture, and healthcare. Nikki's son, Jonathan Oppenheimer, plays a key role in managing the family's investments and philanthropic efforts. With a net worth of $9.4 billion, Nikki Oppenheimer is currently ranked as the third richest man in Africa. However, the family legacy is complex, marked by both immense contributions to South Africa's development and significant controversies. During the apartheid era, Anglo American and De Beers were significant players in the South African economy. Critics argue that their companies maintained symbiotic relationships with the apartheid government to secure mining rights and other business interests. Despite Harry Oppenheimer's vocal opposition to apartheid, the family's businesses operated within and benefited from this system, while they contributed significantly to South Africa's economy and supported numerous philanthropic causes. Their legacy is intertwined with the country's troubled history. For example, Cecil John Rhodes, the forebearer of racism, cartels, monopolies, imperialism, and class antagonisms in southern Africa, laid the foundation of the formation of the state and the system where mining business was strategically positioned to capture the state. They enacted suppressive laws which oppressed and exploited Africans in order to support the developmental agenda of these mining powerhouses. The Rhodes Empire was succeeded by the Oppenheimers. While they built upon the foundations laid by Rhodes, does their efforts to balance business success with social impact reflect a nuanced continuation of this legacy, or did they transform it to one of development and philanthropy? What do you think? In 1965, the Prime Minister of South Africa, Hendrik Verwoerd, a staunch racist, promulgated an investigation into monopolies and cartels controlled by the oligarchs. Hendrik was coincidentally assassinated the following year in 1966, before the commission, led by Professor Hoek, could publish its findings and recommendations. 4 years later, the report leaked after the state refused to publish it. In his findings, Professor Hoek, who had gone to the extent of distancing himself from his own report, went as far as to say that the Oppenheimer family was so powerful that they could destabilize any country. More recently, the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, claimed that the family is directly using its wealth and riches gained through colonialism and consolidated under apartheid to continue holding tremendous political sway in South Africa. EFF claimed that they are planning to hijack South Africa's democratic project through money and manipulation and want to steal the 2024 elections. Are these claims by the EFF a reflection of deep-seated historical grievances? Or do they highlight real concerns about the intersection of wealth and political power? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the legacy of the Oppenheimers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more historical insights.